Rolling. This is Stephen Sloan. The date is May the 7th, 2016. We are with Mr. Khalid Handal at Houston Baptist University. This is an interview with the Texas Holocaust and Genocide Commission Survivor of Genocide Oral History Project. Thank you, Khalid, for sitting down with us again. And it's nice to be back with you. We were with you and your family in December, and so we're enjoying coming back and getting your story. Every story is unique, and I know yours is unique as well. And I know you were born, as you just said, you were born in Kutum in 1973. Okay. For those who would not be familiar with your hometown or your country, can you tell us a little bit about your early life there and what you did, what your parents did, and that sort of thing?
Yeah, thank you very much, Aka, to give me the chance. I was born when my mom told me that I was born where hunger is everywhere. It was 1973, and whenever. Okay, and that's when I asked my mom why I'm the tiniest at home, he said because hunger was everywhere. So it was a tiny village in a rural area you can say just in a spot in a desert. We live in a desert part of Africa, so it is not all green, but it is not savanna. Not Sahara, in the middle. I went to school when I don't like it, and I don't know why people go to school. I spent 6 years in boarding schools, leaving it twice or 3 times a month to see my mom.
Where was the boarding school?
It is a neighboring district to my village. My village is so small that we cannot have a school. So I need to walk like 2 hours when I was 7 to go to the border. But I walk it once a week or twice, 3 times a month to see my family and go back to boarding school to study. I don't know why people study. Nobody told me why. But my uncle told me it is good to go to school. People say it is good because nobody's educated around there. Mm-hmm. So after that, after 6 years has passed, I went to the middle school, which is in the Kutum town, which is our town. Our birth certificate is issued in that town. We live 3 hours away from that town. But everything is getting from there. We don't know government, we don't know police, we don't know hospital, we don't know public service. We just live in our village, and if you need anything, it's in that town. I've never seen a policeman until I was 13, I think. Real policeman, to see policeman and talk to policeman. I was 13.
So you went to Khartoum, you hadn't seen a policeman?
No. I went to Kutum when I was in high school and in middle school, and then I saw a policeman. Mm-hmm. And until that time, I didn't see a TV. I saw a TV when I was 16, when I went to high school. So imagine what kind of economical or social situation we're living in. Mm-hmm. We're isolated back there. And this is the reason why people are fighting now, because people knew that, okay, all this is government responsibilities to build everything, to build roads. We don't have electricity. I was using rubbers, the remaining of car tires. Uh-huh. You cut them in stripes and pull them up or dip them in any container and just lit it with the matches, and it burns with a lot of smoke as pollution. You just stick there and open your book or exercise book and read it. There are no books. Exercise book.
Uh-huh.
You copy everything from the blackboard and put it here and read it. And you go through exams where there are no multiple choices. Give a full answer or you fail. So we keep everything in mind. You memorize everything.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no multiple choices. We came through all that, and then in high school, when people like me, born in 70s and 80s, they went to the school and graduated universities, they knew that why we're back there, we have no electricity, no paved roads, no healthcare, nothing. Why this? Because government don't want to do that for us. Oh, so that's a problem. When I was in the university in the early 90s, at that time is when the people from my state, which is Darfur, started protesting and writing petitions to the government to have a look back there. Everything was rejected. During 5-6 years, people lead protesters, held meetings, sent calls, messages, letters to the National Assembly, to the president, to everybody. Nobody listens. We are educated now. In the 90s, we're educated. We know what our people deserve to live in. So no answer.
You knew what it was like in the rest of the world. You knew
Yeah.
what it was like in other areas.
Yes. So what happened? Some who are even older than me graduated in the 80s. After we gave up. I myself and many people had no idea what to do. Fighting wasn't in my brain at all. But some people decided to fight because there's an example in the Southern Sudan. They were fighting for 20 years earlier, before Darfur Wars was broken out. So some people decided to fight. They grouped in tribes. Every tribe collects some young people. Do you have the idea to fight? Yes. Do you have the idea to bring your rights? Yes. So they formed a rebel movement.
All these little rebel movements.
Yes, little ones.
Yeah.
Too many of them.
Yeah.
There's still too many so far in 2006, from 2003. So those groups, they became bigger and bigger and bigger, and they started fighting haphazardly with no clear plan. The only thing let them fight is because there is injustice. Complete injustices in all aspects of life. So that's the main reason, yeah.
Oftentimes when there's reform movements organizing like that, a lot of it happens on college campuses.
Yes.
So was that true when you were in college? There was a lot of activity?
Yes.
And what did that look like? Yeah.
They're like suddenly they said, okay, we want to send a call for an urgent meeting or discussion meeting. It's really actually a hot seat meeting where 2 or 3 people, very angry ones, the young people, young student will stand in the middle of a circle and they keep mentioning every bad thing about the situation in the country in general and therefore in specific. So what government has done, simply government never built a single airstrip or road or hospital in 70% of Darfur land. I know there are some cities, Nyala, Fasher, Jenena, these are bigger cities. Out of this, and these 3 bigger cities are not even 20% of the region, which is in size of France. Only 3 major cities. Others, call them villages or nothing. No roads. Paved roads, yeah, there's natural road, but no paved road. Don't say highway at all. Don't say freeway. We never heard about that. So, because of all this kind of inequality, economically and socially and politically, nobody's representing us. Okay, nobody's representing Darfurian. You can name two. In my town, I can name one person. I know he's part of a political party. He's not representing us. One person in Kutum town, he passed away 5-6 years ago. Oh, I think 10 years ago. He's the only one who was representing a party, only a party, which is not a ruling party too. So no government representatives.
Yeah, not representing the people.
Yeah, not representing the people. So it is a big mess over there. That's why people formed all these fighting groups. They were haphazard. They are not planned very well. I say they failed so far. Up to today, they failed, and it's really sad. Really sad. And the humanitarian part of the tragedy is the worst that we get from this rebel fighting. The central government that's not listening at all. Can you believe that more than 3 million out of 9 or 10 million, 3 million of them are out of the country in the last 16 years, 3 million. And half of the 9 million, which is the 450, is displaced. Nobody's in his village. When my mom left the home, I wasn't there. I was in Libya. My mom said, there was Karama in Abdullah's home. So Karama is like when you have a new baby, after 7 days, you make, let us say, like a barbecue. So everybody has to come and eat. At that day, a neighbor was having a celebration of a newborn, let us say that. And they killed a bull, a cow. And the meat is everywhere. They're eating, dancing, singing. This was in 2003. So, in 2003, this guy, he was holding this, and everybody was there. My mom told me. And then what came? Militias on horses and cars and camels. These militias is a long story. As you heard, these Janjaweed militias formed by the government. They're mainly Arab heritage, Arab origins, but they're Africans. So they are always nomads. They are not settlers like us. We the African tribes, we farm, we herd, we do everything. We settle, we have villages, bigger towns, we are the majority. But these people, they are moving from place to place, even from country to country. They're moving from neighboring countries like Chad to Sudan, which is the Chad is neighbor to Darfur, from Niger, from Cameroon, from Central Africa, they're moving. So, because Sudan doesn't have a professional army to fight whoever is outlaw, what the government did is to hire the nomads and promise them with the land. The land over there is virgin, is fresh, is almost free. So you fight for me. I don't have enough. I've had militias, I have some policemen, but if you fight for the government will give you the land. You will have towns like we have there in central Sudan. So these people, they came past that newborn celebration in my village. They ruined everything. They didn't kill anybody that day, but they took everything. They took the meat, the belongings, and they ordered the villagers to leave this town today, because there's another group coming. If they come, you will be dead. You know why they did that? Because they were living around there, but they got ordered and promised from the government that you start killing. And these militia members, they know some of the villages, but now they are another part of the plan. They have to kill. They didn't kill. They took everything, and they ordered families to leave this village. My mama left. Everybody left because they're serious.
Yeah.
Because other villages are gone, burn it. Luckily, because these hired killers are known to them, to the families in the village. So they give them like kind of, okay, forgiveness time, move.
Now, you were at the university in the 90s, and you
Yeah.
were talking about what happens in 2003.
Yeah.
How did it develop over that period up to the point at which you leave in 2003?
Yeah, in 2005, 1995, 96, 97, 8, 9, they handed me my transcript in 2000, September 2000.
No.
They handed me my transcript because I cannot get that one. I was supposed to be graduating in 99, but because you have to do compulsory military service, I was lucky. They sent me to a department called Financial Affairs because I was a graduate of a business school, financial accounting. They sent me there. It is in Khartoum, in the capital. I spent 15 months over there. I got released.
What were you doing there for that in that assignment?
I was actually in pensions department. You just nothing is computerized. You just fill form when someone discharged from the army, or he got one date, or he just released. You got some things to do, like to see where is it like. It's like Social Security actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we fill the forms, they collect information about the veteran, always veterans, and the wounded warriors. Yeah, those people. We help them with their payments. That's all what we do. It was interesting. It was good. Yeah, but after that, I got jobless. That's why I left too. I went to Darfur again after that in 2002. I went to Niala. I was looking for a job over there with my friend who is selling crops in not a stock, but it is just a market. I want to join him, and we sell some peanuts, anything like that. Nothing. No TVs, no iPhones. Okay, but because the situation is boiling, as I said, and in those kind of situations, people speak and rumors come that government is looking for educated people from the region roaming the region. Why? Are you forming something? You will be arrested. You're not even living here. Why you come here? So you have a plan. So my friend told me the situation is bad. Okay? They're collecting people from the streets. You better move to Khartoum. So everybody there. Khartoum is the capital, so they don't care that much. They know you cannot fight in Khartoum. So I went back to Khartoum and then back to Darfur, but in my way to Libya.
So what were the circumstances where you left in January 2003?
In 2003.
Yeah. Was there any, was
Yes.
it easy for you to get out, or how did you get out of Darfur?
The news came to me from when I was in Khartoum to move through Darfur. When it came in the middle, the mainstream of the news is that there are people fighting the government in Jabal Mara. What? Yeah, they don't say what tribe is that. People fighting the government in Jabal Mara. Okay, so when we're moving, we are on cars, on pickup trucks.
Mhm.
The only thing was normal is just the checkpoints.
Mhm.
On the checkpoints, I was lucky to go through. I remember I have cassette, song cassettes, like
Tape.
tape, yeah. Those are containing songs about freedoms, how governments are bad, or how a man with the beard can impossibly rule the country the true way, and how someone in the name of God can't do anything better than this. Stuff like that. Like he's like decorating the Islamists who are ruling the country.
Mhm.
And I got a lot of stuff like that. I dumped them before any checkpoint because I want to go to Libya. I want to leave. I want to leave. I cannot do anything with showing up with anything against the government at this checkpoint. So I dropped everything. I left and spent 4 years work with the Kia company,
Mhm.
car dealership,
Oh, yes.
with Siemens. Siemens as a security guard,
Mhm.
but with Kia company I work as an accountant in the accounting department.
Mhm.
And suddenly I came back to Sudan to find that everybody is displaced. My village is not there. I came to the town.
Now, when is this that you came back? You left in January 2003.
Yes.
When did you come back for the first time?
In May 2007.
Okay.
I came back. I came to Al Fashir. I came to Darfur. I didn't go to Khartoum. I spent like a month. I got a job, office secretary and tracing. Tracing secretary is where you look for lost people, missing kids, families, reunion. We do that.
Mhm.
I got that job from Al Fashir, which is bigger town, which is the capital of the state, to smaller town, which is Kudum, and then to the field, up to the borders with the Chad. There, in that office, I was in the front office. We have like expatriates, people from Netherlands, from Germany, Switzerland mainly, from Germany, from France, not from America. You are not what they say, neutral. Yeah, they cannot hire American. In Sudan, they can hire you somewhere, but in Sudan, you cannot be part of International Committee of the Red Cross staff as American. Yeah,
Now, when you came back in 2007, did you go to your village?
that's the story over there.
Yeah, tell me about that trip back to your village.
After leaving the job at 4 o'clock, going home, I lived with my sister. She's a teacher in elementary school. I lived with her. And then in the weekends, I plan to go to my village, which is 3 hours away. Actually, you can use a donkey and you can walk. 2 boys from my village attempt to go to my village. They never came back. Never came back, and nobody know what happened to them. Just because 3 miles out of the town, either you meet rebels or the Janjaweed militias, which are hired by government. So 3 miles diameter of the town.
Khartoum?
No, Khartoum. Khartoum.
Out of Khartoum, so
Yeah.
once you get out of the city, you're in
Yeah.
danger.
You are in danger.
Yeah.
Women get raped. There's no gas to. We don't use gas to cook or electricity. We do the fire with the woods. You go collect some straws, woods and cook. So ladies go there like they need 2-3 miles to do this. They got raped, they got killed, they got kidnapped, they never come back. In my 18 months in Khartoum, two boys from my village attempt to go there because in our village we have some palm trees, mango trees, zawafa, lemon trees. They said, why we don't go and see this? This is a season. Let us go collect some mango and come back. They know it is dangerous, but they just bored in this tiny town. And they made an attempt that they never came back. The one I'm talking about people I lost from my village.
Yeah.
And I was there. Hassan is the only one who has a tiny convenience store in our village. Selling what? Just sugar, tea, salt, peanuts. You can count. 7, 8 items. That's it. He has been displaced from my village and he came to Kutum with us, which is a town. The only town now you can see some 16 policemen. Yeah, that's it. That way we live. And some 8 organizations like ICRC, the Red Cross, the American one is there. What do you call it? IRC, Rescue Committee,
Yeah.
International Rescue Committee. They're
Yeah.
doing a great job. Some French, the other one, the UN, World Food Program, UNICEF, and the Sans Frontier, what do you call it? Doctors
Doctors Without Borders.
Without Borders, yeah. Just organizations, displaced people. This is how it looks like. In town, they have like 20,000. Attached to the town, there is a refugee camp or displaced people, internally displaced people camp. They call it Kasab. 28,000 compact camp served by the organizations. So from that camp, Hassan is the convenience store owner in my village, used to be. He left the camp just half a mile. He got hit, killed, and put in parts. Hassan. At that day, I decided to leave Kutum. My teacher said, my teacher, my sister said, you're leaving me. Because mom and dad and everybody's in Khartoum. I got 2 brothers, all of them in Khartoum. That's a safe place actually because the dictator himself is sleeping there. So nobody can hurt that place. Everything he says, you're leaving me. Even if I want to take a day off, he said, you're leaving me. I'm not leaving you. You have a husband, you have a child. You're just using that, maternity thing, you're leaving me. So I said, and you have a job here. You're even helping me. I'm a teacher. Okay, so I postponed my leaving. Someone with my name, Khalid. He lives with his younger brothers. He got a small convenience store. It's not a convenience store. With 7 items. Live there. He's just 2 streets, 2 aisles actually, from where my sister lives and me. His mom is in another town called Niala, seeking health care. And he and his grandma and the little kids, he's running that store. He's good. One morning, we see people gathering around there. What happened? I just went there. They say Khalid got killed. And his grandma got killed. What happened? The grandma got killed. The grandma, not the young man. Why? Okay. 3 gunmen came. In Kutum, in that town, the time I was, when you heard the knock on your door, you have to be ready to fight or to get killed or to get raped. If you have a lady or a wife or a daughter, ma'am even. That thing will happen to you. Nobody knocks doors after sunset. Nobody walks. His grandmother got killed. What? Why? 3 gunmen came and called him in name. Come and open the tiny story. Give us what you have. He opened the door of his room and he just took his stance by the wall, and he was handing just like a baseball, what do you call it? It's not a baseball, it's just a big a stick.
Bat? Like a
Yeah,
baseball bat?
yeah, big bat, yeah,
Mhm.
just like that.
Mhm.
And what he's trying to do is just let him step in and knock him off. That's his idea. They have guns, but 1 inch I can hit faster than gun. And his grandmother heard people shouting on his son and calling him and asking him to come out and open the store. Grandma, she was in white dress and she don't know. Just came out. Who's doing this? Who's my son? The first thing they did, they shot the lady. And they left. Simply.
Is this Sudanese army or Janjaweed?
Janjaweed militias.
Janjaweed militia, yeah.
Janjaweed militias.
Mhm.
This kind of incidents, shot and killed, is like on everyday basis until today in this town, Kutum.
Mhm.
I left a friend of mine. His name is Salah. He works for the Swedish children organization. They have Save the Children.
Mhm.
Swedish. Save the Children. Swedish. This is a year ago. He was riding a motorbike. He got loaded, killed, and this Daesh style is there now. They beheaded him. He's a friend of mine. I know him.
I'm sorry, Khalid. We'll take a break.
Rolling?
So Khalid, I'd like to pick up and talk a little bit about your work with the Red Cross, where you were going to refugee camps. And first, tell me, how did you get into that position? How did that happen? And then some of the work you were doing.
Yeah, in 2007 when I came back to Darfur, I settled for a month it took me a month to get this job in Al Fashir, which is a capital of Darfur at all times, actually.
Mhm.
And you walk you don't solicit, but you walk from office to office. Organizations are everywhere. UN organizations, all of them. At the top is the UNICEF and the World Food Program and the United Nations Commission of Refugees and all those
All these
organizations
NGOs.
in one town NGO. So
Yeah.
you go to office and see what they have in the board, the announcements. If they have vacancies, openings, you pick. So they needed an office and tracing secretary, someone to handle the front desk and answer the phones and take care of the mail. And they have very special mail, they call it tracing. So I got selected and they took me with they have their own plane from Fashir to That's the second time I take plane in my life.
When was the first time?
2007. First time was 2006. Was 2007 first time actually, but from Libya to Sudan. This man took the plane first time ever in 2007, just 9 years ago. And that was the second time. And to take a plane owned and operated by the Red Cross from Fashir to my job location, and everything is set good, but it is the field. The next day, he set up a convoy with the big trucks made especially for this kind of duties. So I answered the phones. I set the paperwork for leaving the town, because you need, at that time when I was there, the government and the army were there. So you need a permission to leave the town, and you need a permission to hit the what do you call it, the field, because in the field there are too many parties, rebel parties, Janjaweed, government, army. So you pick a phone, you inform all these parties. This is a neutral organization, the Red Cross, leaving the town, destination is this, my operation is this, and we need everything to be normal. Basically, we go visit displaced people, moved from your village to a compact community. You live there, you receive food, any basic medical attention by NGOs only, no government. So one of the NGOs is the Red Cross. We go there, and the distinguished job we do is that people get separated during the attacks. Children were somewhere when mom and dad were taking care of the goats and camels, and the young man was there in the school, and the girl was so when they hit, the militias, when they hit and attack the village, they take captives, they take belongings, they burn the village, and they rape and they take the young girls, they take even some men to use them as slaves. They have a big prison in a place close to called Mestaria. It's close to Kapkabia. They have a big prison there. So when this happens, people get separated, families get scattered. So we get, if you're lucky, you could be in another camp where your families are 10 miles or 20 miles away, or in another country like Chad, the neighboring country to Darfur, or in Kenya, or in Central Africa. So what Red Cross does, we collect letters. Letters, you can make your own letter, but there is a form to fill. So we exchange letters between families in Sudan, in Chad. Like my wife was in Sudan, and then her father was in Chad, and then a letter from her from her father through the Red Cross to her in another camp inside Sudan. So like that, people know where is each other. Yeah, that's a tracing job, they call it, trace, to find the family member, and eventually they do the family reunion, and they give you every possible mean to get to your family. They can give you airfare ticket, they can give you a ride, anything. That family has to be together. The other thing they do is that they take care, they give medical care to wounded warriors, no matter who you are, what party you are. You are wounded, usually those who are in the field, they cannot come to the town, especially rebels. They have to get that service. They're humans and wounded, so they're out of game.
Yeah.
They help them. And the war prisoners, the captives, usually in the rebel sites, they don't keep them. They don't want to do the administration's part of the job. Keep them, feed them, you need a prison. They set them free. So the one who will collect them and take them to the government is the Red Cross, neutral party. So it's a really interesting job.
When you were out in the field, you talked about phoning ahead to let you know. Were you able to move unmolested, or did you get attacked when you were with the Red Cross? Or?
Oh yeah, no. You will not get molested, you will not be attacked, because you pick a phone call as an expatriate. I'm a translator. My job in the field is translating, but in the office I do the office work. In the field to translate. There are other translators too.
Mm-hmm.
Usually a translator could be someone not Sudanese, but I do that job sometimes because a translator was Arabic English, and some people in the field don't speak even Arabic, so I intervene at that time. An expatriate, a field officer should be someone not non-Sudanese, could be from Switzerland, France. Call the government side. You government, your army, your militias, everywhere. This is my way. The Red Cross is going this direction, and my operation is this and this and this, and these are the details. And it takes me 2-3 days, and I'm coming this way. Everybody has to know that. The same message will be sent to the rebels. So we are neutral. Nobody will attack. Yeah.
Now, when you were out talking to people, did you learn new things about the conflict or about what was going on in the region?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Just what I knew is that this prison thing, the captives, like when they attack the village, I never knew that this could take people, poor people, take them and keep them prisoners and take their girls and ladies. I know they burn, but they take people captives and keep them in a prison and use men as slaves. I learned that from villages when we visit them in a displacement camp. That's one thing. And the other thing in that, a villager can come and ask you when they knew that you are reunioning people, family members, and he will ask you, the day there was a war in Jarjira, it's just a place down there, Jarjira. My 2 kids were following the herds and they never came back. Have you seen them? An old lady can ask you this question. Have you seen that? Because you are collecting people, the lost ones, the missing ones. Have you seen that? I remember them. They don't have even water to drink. They're just in, place called Shigekaro. Shigekaro is just, the soil is mix of rock and sand, and a water well is like 10, 12 meters
deep,
yeah, deep. And sometimes it is dry. They're just living there, and they got hurt by militias, by war, by government, which owns everything. Why these people has to suffer? They don't know even what's government. Simply, the reason is that because they mention a name and then, that rebel leader is from our tribe. That's why the government attacking us. Simply.
Yeah.
They never hurt the government.
Yeah.
They never read a newspaper or saw a TV.
and they got killed and raped and burned down.
Yeah, the vast majority not political at all.
No.
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 Now, you mentioned your sister was in town with you. Were you able to, what went on with the rest of your family?
Okay. When my mom left the village after the attack of the newborn celebration in my village, my mom collected her things peacefully. She lost nothing. She left. But my sister was a teacher in a school I was studying, elementary school, Amu. So, Amu is the place that went under official biggest brutal march of Janjaweed. Got too many people killed. Amu is a group of villages, like a district, let me call it a district. Villages, a smaller district, and they have 2 schools, 2 elementary schools, 3. 1 for girls, 2 for boys. So the march came this way. It is in 2004. 2004 I was in Libya. And the leader of the march was Musa Hilal himself. He's one of the well-known militia leaders, and he's one of the well-known Arab minority citizens of Darfur. But as I told you, he got hired by the government to kill. He marched on his own district. They send you to your own district to kill and capture and conquer. They send him. And it is like, actually, you can imagine, like what it is happening in the movies. Destroy, kill, and take. He was by the rear of his army. And the same thing happened. Collect the herds, animals, camels, cows, sheep, goats, ladies, kids. He killed the man. He didn't kill the lady. And talk to them. If I were not one of you, I will kill you all. He didn't kill the ladies. He sent the ladies and the kids to the camps, to the displaced people camp, this internal displacement camps, which is Kasab Kutum. Go to Kutum. There is a camp for you. No man is coming out. He killed them all. There's a man who has a restaurant. His name is Shaibo. There is a small market. It's like not a shopping center, just small market. When I was in the elementary school, I leave on Tuesdays. They give you a permission to go and shop with simple needs, Vaseline, whatever you want, and come back to the boarding school. That man, Shaibo, he has a restaurant. He got in his menu. He got only 3 things. Yeah. And when I go there, like to eat a different food, I don't have enough money, but just to eat a different food. He keep mentioning my father. Oh, your father is a good guy. I know him. I have been with him in Saudi Arabia. He's a good guy. And I was not paying attention when he's handing me a plate of soup. It's just meat in a tomato sauce, and I was handing it tightly, and he already gave it to me, but I was still holding it because I'm not paying attention. Yeah, so he mistakenly thought that I was paying attention. That's why I'm handing it so tight, and I want to drop it. But I wasn't paying attention. I don't know that he already handed it to me. I was like, and he didn't know that I was looking somewhere else. He said, "Oh, you are so you are detailed like your father." and they just want to say good things about me and my family. His son got killed. He's my distant family, but his son got killed. He's a man. He's a big man. He's married, and no, he's an example for like a young man you need to follow. Yeah, he's educated. He did everything you wish to do. They are my distant family. He told me he's like, okay, he was running away, I know. He was running away, but he was shot from behind, got killed. He don't want to die. He loves life. Yeah.
Your father left as well out of the village?
My father wasn't there.
He wasn't
Good
there?
thing my father was in the village.
Yeah, where was your father?
My father was in Khartoum. Yeah. Luckily, he was in Khartoum, and he never came back during the war. Yeah, it's not a place you can come back. Yeah, he is handling a shop, selling like garments. Yeah, he's doing good. He has a house, small one of course, not in a high scale place. It's in a poor place, and that's how my mom escaped there. She don't want to go there, but she decided, okay, it's time to move to Khartoum, right? Yeah, let's go. My sister, she's already married there in Khartoum. My brother.
So how long did you work for the Red Cross?
18 months.
18 months.
Yeah, from May 2007 to the end of 2009. I left Red Cross to come here only. Yeah. But after me, less than a year, Red Cross has been kicked out of the state itself. It's not there in Darfur no more.
Yeah.
Yeah, they shut off the office. They send the expatriates away. So,
Can you tell me a little bit about the decision or the opportunity to leave and how that came about?
everybody leaves that country as a refugee. You leave to, like my wife, she went to Chad, to different countries. That's a long story. And she got picked to the U.S. Any other person can go to Ghana, any African country, to Kenya, stay 2, 3, 4, 5 years, in Egypt 6, 7 years, and get picked by the UN, and then to the United States or Canada or Australia or England. But I was just lucky. That's why when I think about anything not going right in my life, I thank God, because I'm just lucky. I went online. I applied for something called diversity visa. That's a lottery. They select you randomly. They put names in computer, but those names should be from poor countries like mine. And you should be one of those who have at least 12 years education or a job that well known, or you can do it.
Yeah.
So you got selected randomly. This program is run by Department of State. They give this chance to 55,000 person every year from poor countries, China, India not included. So too many people here from China and India, not rich countries like Canada. So I've been selected. I applied this when I was in Libya, because I would not have an access to the computer in Sudan.
Mm-hmm.
So Libya was a good country, having easy life. And I applied in 2006 and 2007. They sent me the letter. See, I will not receive that letter in Sudan. Letter through the mail to me from America will not come to Sudan.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened? I put my mailing address Ireland, Dublin, in Europe. A friend received my mail, and from Dublin he sent it through a diplomatic package to the embassy of England in Sudan, a friend who's in New York now received that. He was an admin officer. And then he sent it by an airplane of the Red Cross to me in Khartoum. And I fill it out and send it back. And everything is going secretly. Anything related to America is danger to you.
Mhm.
You cannot practice Americanization over there. I left the office in September 2008. Went to Cairo, no visa in Sudan. I got the visa, I got the interview. It took me 2 minutes to get the interview. I'm just thankful of all that. So I don't care that much. I got my chance to come to America. From Egypt, I took 10 days. I got the visa stamp in my passport. I came back to my office in Red Cross until December. I left office. Everybody was praying for me. They showed me the videos, how to live your life. You may be getting a job in McDonald's. You just take care of it and you will be all right after many, many years. And I hope that's true.
Well, a lot of folks we've talked to have talked about how hard that transition is.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit about, did you come to Houston first? Or-
I was lucky again.
Yeah.
A friend and a classmate of 9 years, elementary and middle school. He has a grocery store in Rookie and Bel Air. Here. I left all the money to my family. I was paid $800 every month. Okay, you need this money. I'm going to America. I think I will have enough money there. I came with a $200, $300 in my pocket. I came to the airport, this Bush airport, and got picked by a Sudanese driver. I got dropped to the store. My friend paid my taxi fare. He hosted me for a long time. I worked in his store. A year later, I got free. Yeah, I wasn't paying any bill the first 6 months.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I'm just lucky.
So you had friends here that really helped.
Yeah,
you
two of
train.
them actually.
Yeah.
One is I can say is a nephew of this Salah, the
I
one.
see. Yes. Yeah. How did you meet Nazma?
Oh. I was what do you call it? Director assistant? No, I was a director at that time. That Foreign Association of Greater Houston. Doing all necessary work for new families coming. She came a year after me.
I see.
Yeah, doing all the necessary jobs for families coming to here, no English, nothing, no job, no possible job. Have to do everything. You got to relate the family to the sources that they can get their bills paid, their kids go to school. They have a sponsored organization like YMC or Alliance, but they do the basic. They have a budget. They give you the money. Thank you. Bye. They give you the money if you want. Bye. That's it. They need how to keep your Medicaid, your food stamps, how to pay your bills. That money they hand it to you, they will go.
Mm.
You need translation, you need kids to go to school, you need papers to be filled, you need mail to be read. So me and other three, let me say, volunteers from the Darfur Institution of Greater Houston helping families. At 2010, most of them, they came here.
I see.
Now they're good. So that way, I knew Nazma, and it was like, what? She wanted to marry anyway. And then I said, yeah, marriage is better. Because as a conservative, double conservative community, we got not too many options. Just to marry,
Mhm.
yeah, and it's still good.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you've done, I really appreciate you taking the time to tell us your story. And
Yeah.
I want to make sure I haven't missed anything. If there's something that you wanted to make sure you got to share.
It's okay, man. It's okay. It's all right. But as she just told me what I supposed to express myself, I'm just helpless. Just helpless. That those people there, there's nothing showing up or over there. They weren't no waiting for any kind of solution. That's what I'm trying to say. They will continue the suffering, you know.
Yeah.
The killers are free. They're selecting everyone today. Until today, they can select anyone to kill. They can select anyone to kill.
There's no justice.
That's it. They can select anyone to kill. Nobody will prevent them. Nobody will stop them. That's where my misery comes from.
Yeah.
That's it. If I can get a power to get a revenge, I will not cry. I will not cry. I will double the punishment. I will just double the punishment. It's okay.
Khalid, thank you again for talking with us.
Thank you.